Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Wednesday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Welcome. I just found out that I can do all kinds of stuff with my background. I can blur it, I can upload another picture. Oh man, I'm gonna have a bunch of fun times with the background. I feel like the lighting we got pretty decent and it looks pretty good. I kind of like the blur background. Focus is more on me. Samir, namaste. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. So I have an interesting one for you tonight. I haven't talked psychology for a long time, and some of you may not even know this, but my background, my studies at the university um, was psychology. I know I blurred the background. I can do stuff with the background. I'm excited. It's kind of cool because now you can get to see me more. I feel like I can upload pictures in the background. I just found that out like 5 minutes ago, so I'm really excited. I tried a couple things, but the pictures weren't really cool. Man, I got a lot of gray hair. All right, I digress. Jenny, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. So, some of you, not a lot of you actually know this, but my background is psychology. My background is psychology, and I studied human behavior, emphasizing on behavior. This is about 1,000 years ago, of course, but that's kind of what I studied, and I never really got into the field as far as pursuing it. But I love psychology. I love the study of the mind and how humans behave and all that, right? What? T Money in the house. Can you guys hear me okay, or does that sound weird in the background? Of course, when T Money is here, he hears everything. But so that's my background, and I one of the guys that I actually like is Sigmund Freud. The other guy that I really like is Carl Jung, and I've talked about this years ago, but sounds good. Okay, good. But tonight I want to bring a concept to you from my boy Sigmund Freud. Now, you may not be into psychology, you may not even like Sigmund Freud for a lot of his concepts and theories were sexually based, but he was probably one of the, I mean, arguably one of the pioneers in studying the human mind, and he's got some really good concepts. So a concept that he brings up, he goes, the size of your character. Now, the size of your character, what does that even mean, and what does that have anything to do with anything, right? Well, he claims that the size of your character determines how you're going to deal with a problem that comes up. Okay. And I love how he puts this together. He says the size of a character, the way you measure the size of a character is by how, let me see how I can say this. The size of a character, you may measure that by what it takes to get somebody out of their element, if you want, if you would. What does it take for somebody to get ticked off, to lose it, to kind of just go nuts, right? What problem, when that occurs, this person loses their own sight, their normal behavior. For example, uh, you know, somebody may be cutting you off on the freeway on the way to work, and you just get so irritated and so responsive, and you just snapped, right? Well, the size of your character is measured right there. Something that small, somebody cutting you off in the freeway is gonna set you off. Imagine what other things could set you off. So the size of a character is determined, but what size of a problem sets you off? This is huge, you guys. This is so good. Now, the way he also explains that you can actually grow the character, your size of your character. You can grow that size. You can develop that character, if you would. Well, how do you do that? How do you develop your character? One example that I don't know if he gives this, but where I heard it, but this is a really good example. One example I can give you is this. You see, for some of you who are parents, you see your child, let's say at a certain age, is not growing. Like for example, you see, oh man, this kid is just not growing. They stopped, right? So what do? You take them to the doctors, maybe run some tests, maybe prescribe some growth hormone or what have you, right? And you do whatever you can to kind of what expedite that growth because you only have so much time, right? Let's say, for example, you have a child that, and then this is true for some, you have a child that we have actually a lady in our team with a situation, not once, twice, believe it or not. You have a child that all of a sudden starts to lose his or her hearing at a very early age, let's say 4 or 5 years of age. Well, you notice those things. What do? You do whatever you can to help that person or your child with technology, doctors, surgery, whatever it takes, right? I'll give you another example. Let's say you are a child, and let's say you're 5, 6 years old, and you're crossing the street, a busy street. You're crossing a busy street, and where I come from, lights don't really matter if there's green light or red light. Um, let's say, for example, at 5 or 6 years old, you're crossing the street. You may be a little nervous and cautious, not sure what's going to happen. You may run across the street, kind of stop and go, that kind of a thing. If you were to cross that same street at age 35, you wouldn't have those same feelings and emotions. Hopefully not. If you do, we've really got to talk. But you wouldn't be having those same emotions and those same feelings as you did when you were 6 years old. Why? Because the size of your character has grown, because you are now bigger than the problem. You no longer view the problem as something so massive and overwhelming that it just comes all, just takes all over you. But now at 35, you said, oh, it's just a busy street. I know what to do, right? And that's exactly what Freud is talking about here. How you grow the size of your character is you feed it and you deal with the problems. You don't run away from the problems. You study them, you evaluate them, you read up on them, you figure them out. You come up with solutions to the problems, right? And the size of your character will grow in that not so many little tiny little problems are going to set you off. It's going to take a whole heck of a lot more, if any, to set you off. So I think that's such a great thought, great, I don't know, theory, sure, but I love that because it's so uh, illustrative, illustrative. Is that a word? Illustrative of real life, right? I mean, that crossing the street is so real. I mean, you cross the street at 6 years old, you're going to be like, what? You cross the street at 35 years old, you're just like zooming through it, right? So it's the same thing with our life. If we were to take each problem and just kind of grow, and learn from it and be able to overcome it, then eventually it's going to take a lot more to set us off. So hopefully with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop one takeaway from this live below. Let this feed grow. And if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Tomorrow, Thursdays with Sean. I actually postponed my guest for 1 week because I can't do it. I can't do it. And yeah, I just have a very busy day by the time I get home and prepare for Thursdays with Sean. I'm sorry that I'm going to miss 1 week, but I'll go live. It's not like I'm not going to go live. I'll go live, but it just won't be with my guest. I put her for next week, and believe me, it's worth the wait. I can't really reveal the guest yet because it's too early, but yeah, for next week, I had to tell her that I'm gonna have to move. So I appreciate you guys, but we'll come back Thursdays with Sean next week. Don't worry, it's on. I got some killer guests. Just oh my goodness, just wait. I actually was when I was talking to my guest um, today because the time schedule or the time change or the schedule change, I was thinking how blessed I am to be like literally speaking to them via text and talking to these people on the cell phone. These are like top guy and girls in the profession, in the world, like not just in our company. We're talking like in the world, all companies. So I was thinking about that how blessed I am to be able to, 38 jobs and 19 years in mortgages and great reputation still to this day, and being one of the top producers in one of the biggest companies. Never had anything like this. Never was able to call anybody, text anybody. Are you kidding me? That sounds funny. Imagine if you were to able to text your like corporate like boss or you know owner or just it just doesn't work like that. It just here I'm just so blessed. I feel like you can learn so much from these guys and girls and what they've gone through and what they've achieved. It's just mind blowing. It truly is. It's not just unique to my company. I'm talking about all the gangsters out there who's crushing their gigs. So it's a real deal. So with that, anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. And if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Spread the love, tag a couple people. And I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.